So I'm doing a playthrough of Elden Ring to prepare for the DLC, and I've reached the part where you have to go kill Commander O'Neill to get a vaccine for Millicent's diabetes. My general playstyle for Elden Ring has been, if the game gives you cool items to use, why not use them? I have a lot of fun using the various spells, Ashes of War, and weapons I find, even if they can sometimes be a bit OP. As long as it makes the boss battle fun, I'll use it. The only thing I've been limiting myself from are summons, both Spirit Ashes and player character varieties have been mostly ignored for me. With this mindset, I found one type of boss really kicks my ass: duo bosses. I tend to agree with the common complaint that many of them aren't designed well. If you can't separate them, you are left dodging attack after attack without many openings to retaliate. Because of that, I've been ditching gank bosses that I can't just crush with my wacky abilities. But you have to kill Commander O'Neill for this quest. On my first go round, I decided, alright, let's just ignore the ads and 1v1 the guy. It worked pretty well once I lured him away, but throughout the entire battle I kept getting toothpicks shoved up my ass from a mile away, and by the time O'Neill summoned his bigger, more aggressive squad, I was fresh out of flasks. Attempt 2 I decided, alright, I'll just kill all the ads first. And that went very poorly. Attempt 3, I ride around on Torrent, running in and out to kill the ads before they kill me. This works pretty well, but it took me about 2 years to clear them out, and by the time I finally could 1v1 O'Neill, I died very quickly because I'm not actually very good at Elden Ring. Attempt 4, fuck it. I have fire, let's throw fire at him. Attempt 5, alright, screw the ads, let's just run around on Torrent and whack O'Neill a bunch. At this point, you can probably tell I'm not having too much fun with this boss. After my first 2 genuine non-cheese attempts, I've been trying to find the easiest way to kill this boss, so I could just be done with it. The ads were sapping any fun out of finding O'Neill. If I wanted to try and ignore them, I would have to deal with a bunch of arrows constantly flying at me, and if I killed all of them first, it would just require me to do a long setup before every true 1v1 attempt. Unlike the other multi-enemy bosses, I couldn't just abandon this boss for something more fun. I had to kill this boss to continue a quest. Attempt 6 was the most painful. I decided to go with attempt 5's strats, but just play it very carefully and slow. I'll only hit him when I had open opportunities and avoid getting caught by his hits. Here you can see me getting O'Neill down to 0 health bar, and here you can see me eating grass and being hit while I'm down by his fucking axe goons. This was the point where I decided, fuck it, this boss is unfair. Why should I play fair? And of course this boss is unfair. Gank bosses are just unfair in general. It's how they are designed. They weren't made to be fought on your own, as if you are some godlike being who can defeat a whole army. I'm fighting a guy who is literally using summons just like I can, and then complaining about the fight being bullshit when I refuse to use them myself. There's a whole feature of the game I've been ignoring because I had in my head that it was easy mode, when this fight, and most other duo fights, were designed with summons in mind. So I roll up to Round Table Hold, find Rodrika, and tell her to buff my summons. Due to indecisiveness, I decide to get both Latenna and the wolf pack to pull up to my aid. I bust back into O'Neill's house, place down Latenna, and then instantly watch her get smoked because Latenna is stationary and can't do much against the crossbow guy sitting there pelting her with splinters. Importantly, however, while O'Neill is kicking my ass, I notice that there is an entire NPC summon for the specific boss fight. I didn't even know this was a character that existed. I swiftly summon her so she can watch O'Neill shove my head into a toilet. But next fight will be different. I'm getting a freaking army for this. I will no longer be facing an army alone, but with an army of my own. This fight, I summon Pollyanna, I ring up my wolf pack, and we go into battle as a group. Pollyanna distracts O'Neill, while me and the wolves take out the archers. I make sure to throw some blows at O'Neill to assist Pollyanna along the way, and by the time all the archers are dead, the wolves too have perished. Pollyanna is still alive, however, and honestly not doing very well against O'Neill, but I come in to provide backup. Unfortunately, O'Neill brings in his axe posse, and Pollyanna is promptly dismissed from the fight. And once again, it's me and Torrent against the world. But this time it's different. I can't let the deaths of the wolves and Pollyanna be for nothing. This time I have to finish it. I go back to my earlier strategy, rushing in and swiping at O'Neill and his axemen. I take out each axe guy one by one before it's just me and O'Neill left. While I'm at the same spot I've been at multiple times before, it feels different. The build up to this point was a lot more fun, a lot more epic and cinematic, and as a result, this feels a lot more climactic. We joust and I slap him in the back of the head a bunch with my stick, and finally he's felled. There we go. A battle that at first was me dragging my feet through the mud and wishing it would be over became one of the more memorable moments of this playthrough for me, and all it took was a switch of mindset. Yeah, summons perhaps make this fight easier, but also way more fun. I stopped trying to bash my head against this boss of my self-imposed rules, when it was clear this boss wasn't designed with that sort of playstyle in mind. This game gave me summons and expected me to use them, especially for this kind of encounter. And once I fully embraced this, gank fights became a hell of a lot more fun.